Hello, also in last video we saw how to configure temp database on local drive instead of shared drive. And if we do a quick recap, so far we have seen how to install SQL Server cluster instance dgocte on node 1. Later on we also saw how to add node 2 as a failover node to an existing instance dgocte which is installed on node 1. Now in this video, we'll install new SQL Server cluster instance on node 2, and in next video, we'll add node 1 as a failover node to this instance, which we are going to install on node 2. So in order to install SQL Server cluster instance on node 2, I will log in into node 2. So, so currently my all the nodes are running, domain controller, node 1, node 2. And if I log into node 2 now, I'm going to log in as a domain user or AD user. And let me, okay, I don't need this guy. Let me close server manager as well. We don't need this. And if I open failure cluster manager, and as you can see here, if I go to the no role, only one instance is there. This is the default SQL Server instance. And the IP address I had provided was 198.162.80.30 to this SQL Server instance. Okay, it's a default instance and it is currently owned by node 1. Now let's start the process of installing uh, new SQL Server instance on node 2. Okay, so it's the same process except one part. I will tell you what that part is. It's related to the instance name. Otherwise, remaining all things are same. So let me go back to my documentation. Okay, I will go to installation tab and I will click on new SQL Server failure cluster installation. 99% steps are same. One another thing I will have to do is this time I will keep my temporary database on local drive instead of shared drive. So what I will do, I will create a new folder called temp02, and since it is a failure environment, cluster environment, I need to create the same path on node 1 because we saw in last video if we don't do that, our SQL server will not fail over. It will fail because these drives are local drive. These drives are not, or that path is not shared path or shared drive. So I will go to node 1 as well and I will create some temp02 folder. Temp02. Perfect. All good. I'll minimize this and let me go back to node 2. Okay, I don't want any updates. Next. Perfect. Nothing, all status is passed except one warning. We'll ignore the warning, that's fine. Developer edition, accept. This one we'll have to accept. Uh, as we saw in last video, we'll just install database engine service. I will keep this as default. We don't have to modify anything here. Next. Perfect. Now, here, if I go back to my documentation, For this node, I had given network SQL Server network name as dgokte, and for this I'm going to give that as ma-gokte. But there is one thing here, there is one catch. I will tell you. Last time I had specified default instance. All right. Now, if I click on default instance, by default, the instance ID it will take as MS SQL Server. Now, this instance ID is already used by dgokte, and since it is a failover environment, it will be unique. It has to be unique for both the nodes, or you cannot have same instance ID for both the nodes. All right. What I meant to say is, if I keep like this and if I click next, let's see what happens. See, it failed. What error it's saying is there are validation error on this page. Click OK. So I will click OK. And what it says is instance name this is already in use. Why it is in use? Though we have given this instance name for dgokte, since it is a failover node or failover cluster, it will not allow you to use that same instance ID for this node. Reason being, in case of failover happens, this instance will come on node 2 as well. All right, so that's the reason it will not allow us to use default instance. So instead, what we'll do is I will choose a named instance and I will give name as SQL 2019. Perfect. Now, the difference between named instance and default instance is, so if I, let me open Notepad. So it matters in the case of connectivity or connection string. So if I go back, let me open SSMS. Now, in order to connect to our instance or connect to database, we are just providing the SQL Server network name. All right. So currently our cluster name is dgokte. So if I let that SSMS gets open, should not take this long. Okay, finally. So as you can see, I am just specifying the server name dgokte, and if I click connect, it will allow me to log in. So that means so dgokte. So if I go back, so dgokte is my network name or cluster name. All right, and this is the default instance. So when it is a default instance, I don't have to specify that specifically. But when I am giving a named instance, so in this case, I am specifying ma-gokte. It's my SQL Server network name or cluster name. So, but when I'm specifying named instance, while connecting, I need to provide this entire string. So, my SQL Server cluster name as well as my named instance. All right. If it is a default instance, I don't have to, I can skip this part. I don't have to specify this. Okay. We'll see that. As of now, I will keep, I will minimize this guy and we'll go ahead with this. So this is what I have specified. Ma-gokte is my cluster name. Ma-gokte. Okay. Maybe M-A-G-O-G-A-T. Perfect. Doesn't matter actually, but let me. Okay. And SQL 2019 is my named instance. We'll click next. So this is the only difference. Otherwise, remaining all process is same. Installation process that we have already covered in last video. Perfect. This is next. Okay. Now in this case, I will choose the disk. Let's say 2, 4, and 7. So these are the three disks. It doesn't matter actually. These are shared drives. Uh, uh, but I'm just choosing it. It does not. You can change those disks later on. But I'm just choosing it since we have decided that we'll choose 2, 4, and 7. Out of 6 drives, 3 drives belongs to node 1, remaining 3 belongs to node 2. So these are the remaining 3 drives which I am going to allocate for node 2. Okay, I will click next. Okay, now the IP address we have to specify. So if I go back here, so I had specified IP address as 192.168.80.30. So for this instance, I will specify 192.168.80.40. So 192.168.80.40. So as we discussed earlier, this IP address has to be in same range of our remaining nodes. So see this is having same range. This is having same range, and similarly, remaining these three nodes which we have installed, they are also having the same IP address range. Okay, reason being, these nodes should be able to communicate to this SQL instance which we are configuring. All right, so that's the reason they has to be in the same network, or they has to have same IP address range. Okay, we'll click next. Okay, SQL Server agent. So if I go back to my documentation, um, I think SQL dot itg. Okay, these are the things. So I will use service account. So as I discussed earlier, like we should not use a user specific account. We should always use generic service account, because there is a chance that user will come and go. If that particular user leaves the organization, will not know his password, and even to deactivate that particular user will be a problem, because there are services running with his ID. So it's always advisable to use generic service account instead of specific user account. I will select this guy and I will click next. Perfect. I will use mixed mode authentication. Password #123. Password #123. And I will add group, AD group as a SQL admin. Perfect. Data directory. So as we discussed earlier, I will change this guy to node volume 2. Oh, this is what we have to select. Okay, and for user log directory, so this is user database directory, which is fine. And for user log directory, I will change this to volume 4 log. Perfect. And maybe what I can do is I can copy this guy. Yeah, this is perfect. Yeah, yeah, volume 2, volume 4. This is fine. Okay, temp database. Now, as I said earlier, I will use local directory instead of, so I will use local directory instead of shared drive. Temp02, temp01 is for node 1 or instance 1, not node 1. I'm sorry, it's for instance 1 and this is for instance 2. Okay, and I will change this initial size as 1024. So two data files it has by default chosen, that is based on, we saw that this earlier in earlier video. So it is automatically takes that based on uh, our virtual processor. So if I go to task manager, more details, performance, here I have two virtual processors. Okay, so based on that, it choose these two files. Okay, same applies, and yeah, so my log directory for temp database is also on local drive. This is fine. I'll keep these things default. Similarly, max GOP, this thing gets chooses. I mean, the installer is smart enough to identify how many degree of parallelism is required. So this value is again based on number of virtual processors. So I have two virtual processors we just saw. So that's why this number 2 appeared here automatically. Now coming back to memory, now I will specify 1024. So I have 2 gig of memory for this particular virtual machine. I'll specify, I will give allocate 1 gig of memory to SQL Server. Remaining 1 gig can be utilized by Windows OS. I'll select this. We don't have to worry about file stream. Okay, I mean, for more information on these settings, you can always go back to my earlier video. So for time, so yeah, I think we have completed everything here. Perfect. And I will click next. Yeah, we are good to go now. I will click install. Okay, till the time this gets installed, let's open SQL Server Configuration Manager. Now, if you see here on SQL Services, uh, except SQL Server browser, remaining all services are stopped. Mainly the SQL Server service and SQL Server agent service is stopped. Okay, because this is a default instance based on the name you can identify. These services are currently running on node 1. That's why those services are stopped over here. All right. Now, moment we'll install another instance here, we should be able to see two more services, one extra SQL Server service and another extra SQL Server agent service. And since we are installing those that instance on this node 2, those two services must be running or should be running on this node 2. We'll see that. And another thing is we should be able to see another role over here. So this is a default SQL instance. We should be able to see. So we have specified SQL instance name as SQL 2019. So we should be able to see that second entry over here. Okay, we'll wait for this to get finished. It's about to get finished. Okay, so second entry of named instance SQL 2019 appeared here. It shows as stop. It may take some time. Yeah, it's getting configured. Okay, and as you can see, the owner of second instance is node 2. Okay, it's finished. Everything is success. I'll close this guy. Okay, and as you can see, now the second entry of named instance SQL 2019 is currently running and it's owned by node 2. So that is what we did. We installed second instance on node 2. Okay, and if I go to node, both are running. If I go to disks, few disks are owned by node 2, some are owned by node 1. It doesn't matter actually. And if I go and check the IP address 192.168.80.40, this is what the IP address I had provided. I will close this guy and let's check the services. So earlier we had seen only 2 services. Again, those services are in stop status. If I refresh this guy, now I get to see four entries. Let me sort it. So this is default instance which is running on node 1. It is in stop status. This is the named instance which we just now created. It is running on node 2 and it is running. Default instance for SQL Server agent. It is in stop state, that is owned by node 1. And this is named instance SQL 2019 which is running on node 2. Perfect. I'll close this guy as well. And let's go back to our SSMS. And now we'll connect to the new instance. So as I said earlier, since it is a named instance, we had to connect by cluster name slash instance name. Connect. Perfect. If I go back here, I have all the system databases and let's create new database called HR2, or I will keep same name HR database. And these are the user data drives we had chosen at the time of installation, volume 2 and volume 4 for log. Perfect. And one more thing which we are going to do is let's check the files of our temp database. So these are the local drives. Perfect. So now in next video we'll add node 1 as a failover node to this instance. All right. So thank you for watching this video and see you in the next video.